3 of being in a lockdown.
Apparently with the rest of humanity, except this guy who's cleaning the pool. There's a quietness to the surroundings here.
So I'm going to be speaking today about boredom, loneliness, and a movie that has Brad Pitt in it. I always thought he was like this shitty, overrated actor, but I think I'm jumping ahead a little bit. So I've been talking to a few people, and apparently we are currently suffering from a loneliness epidemic. Can you see the light? Sometimes it's hard to talk about these things for a lot of people. They
Feel isolated, they feel abandoned, they feel completely out of touch.
Not all these people want to speak about being lonely, but have you ever met someone who says something like, oh, I can't eat food alone, oh, I can't stay in the house alone, oh, how are you doing this alone? I got one of that yesterday. As you know, I live in the same city as my parents, but I have my own house. I live away from them. Because that's kind of like what adults do.
Isn't it?
This fear of being alone, this fear of having to observe your thoughts, this fear of what will I do with my time, this fear of am I relevant, am I serving a certain purpose, higher purpose, whatever it is. Let's get real for a second. There's a qualitative difference between loneliness and aloneness. Lonely when you resent the fact that you have no one to look over you. You're alone when you don't have people around you, but you don't really require them as a constant because you
have found
creative and fulfilling ways to deal with your thoughts, to deal with your time, to creatively engage
yourself and to develop whatever
it is you wish you want to develop, because you, my friend, need serious upgradation. All of us do. You notice the number of cuts in this video? There are no retakes in life. So if you have this opportunity to spend some time with yourself, make the best use of it. Instead of hankering for the need to be around someone, to constantly be a part of what I am now referring to as this entire mass WhatsApp-induced statistic counting fear atmosphere. Maybe this is a good time to inculcate new habits. Maybe this is a good time to start reading again. I said this yesterday.
So no,
I don't feel lonely. Of course, the conversation is nice and it's lovely whenever I speak to my parents.
so don't just see this
As isolation or distancing. See it as rejuvenation and recalibration.
you change the way you think.
This entire thing plays out differently for you in your head, and you might just cope better with it. Now to my second point, boredom. Ooh, yeah.
There are only
So many TV shows on Netflix and Amazon Prime and Hotstar and Z5 and
what have you.
instead of filling your head with TV shows, which is what I would usually do, I'm using this time to fill my head with ideas. These ideas will help me cope better with the situation as it stands and also inform me, because I am in the teaching profession, and that is the profession of the disbursement of knowledge vis-a-vis ideas. New ideas, old ideas, we're not biased towards an idea based on its age.
Always place for
New ideas.
I remember when I used to teach
The subjects of film and TV, in certain colleges, I used to do these workshops. I always used to say boredom is the number one enemy.
because a bored mind
Starts imagining things, a bored mind starts wanting to spread emotions that might not necessarily be helpful to a situation. A lot of bored individuals on WhatsApp right now spreading fake news about the coronavirus, COVID-19, statistical updates, COVID-19 cure updates, and it's all beginning to get a bit much. So I have turned off my WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger notifications. If someone wants to reach me, they can do so by calling me up. I'm not that difficult to reach, just call me up. Guess where I am? Home. You can sign up on the Masterclass website or the Udemy website or lynda.com, and there are several other websites. Go to Khan Academy. YouTube is the best place to learn new things. So if you are bored, the only way to deal with that is to get creative. Creative is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, really. I'll tell you why. Because creativity is what will help you stay alive. Even if this was the apocalypse, which a lot of people are referring to it as, the only way to stay alive in such a situation would be to be creative about how you want to survive and to inculcate a certain freshness and perspective so that you know exactly what you need to do because everyone else is doing what they need to do.
Make sense?
You are responsible for your own boredom just as you are responsible for your own safety. You are responsible for the speed at which your brain operates. You're responsible for your schedule. You're responsible for the people you invite in your life. And you are responsible for your emotions. We come alone, we die alone. And now, to the third part of today's... You see what my specs did? Something strange. Adjust my mustache. Brad Pitt. One of the few movies I really enjoyed of Brad Pitt's and which really made me like him very much as an actor. It's not 12 Monkeys, it's not Fight Club, it's not Meet Joe Black. It's a movie called Fury, which is on Netflix. Spoiler alerts for Fury.
Some background notes first. A friend of mine
Asked me why I haven't gone back to stay with my parents given the situation with COVID-19 or why I am duking this out by myself. Or why have I decided to stay in my house? Now let's get back to Brad Pitt. There's a scene in the movie Fury which I'd like to talk about a little bit. It's a movie based in the Second World War about these 5 to 6 guys who live in a tank. So they're a tank crew. They essentially go on missions to take on the Germans, etc. Now in the last scene of the movie, Brad Pitt and his crew are walking into an ambush.
They are flanked
by the enemy, only the enemy hasn't seen them yet. So they have a very small opportunity to escape with their lives and they realize that if they don't do it right now, it's going to be pretty dire
for them and the entire crew.
So Brad Pitt asks his crew members to escape while they still have the time. Only Brad Pitt decides to stay inside the tank, and when his crew members ask him why he isn't coming along, and this is the part that really gets me every time, he looks at them and says, "I'm not going anywhere.
This is my home."
There is a need to show bravery, sensibility, rationality, control, and a certain degree of practicality in a situation like this. So yes,
Unlike an
11-year-old who runs to his mom and dad whenever he gets into a playground scrap, I'd implore you to start relying a little more on yourselves because we're all grown-ass people here. And I notice there is this tendency to be overprotective and to wait for Santa frickin' Claus to come and take care of things. But no, that's not how the world works. So no, I won't leave my home. He's lived in that tank for so long that the tank has become an extension of him, and for him to run away in the face of adversity strikes him, an army man, a leader of a squadron, as the most cowardly thing he can do. Those of you all who know me know that I've spent a great part of my life being away from home. When we were in boarding school, we had to frequently change our beds, our wings, our dormitories. I did that for 6 years. Then I did my post-graduation, where also we had to change our accommodation a few times, and I never really enjoyed that. I never really liked having to clear out my cupboards, take a bag, and just shove all my stuff in and then move somewhere else. Singapore as well, I was there for 7 years. I changed 3 houses while I was there. I never really enjoyed any of that. So yes, this is my home, and I'm gonna stay here for as long as I need to. And I don't know why I thought about this movie scene, about Brad Pitt of all the people. And yes, it's a bit extreme, it's a bit dramatic, it's a bit about honor on the battlefield, etc. The battlefield truly is out there with all the healthcare workers risking their lives, medical professionals, and as I read, they don't even have enough safety equipment here in India. Sit at home, use your time well, and think about the dolphins that showed up at Marine Drive who clearly have it figured out, as we don't.
No, I don't know about dolphins. Here's a shark having a good time. Yep.
Sorry for the poor audio quality. There's something wrong with my front-facing camera, but if you pay close attention, I think I'm loud enough. Sorry for the longish video, but that's what talking about Brad Pitt does to me. Just get carried away. Alright, that's enough from me for today. Stay brave, stay self-reliant, stay at home, do the right thing, and believe in the power of Brad Pitt.